What is up, everybody? I hope all is well. And this is Chris with That Square Sports Podcast. And check this out. I've been getting a lot of talk about the Minnesota Vikings, and I wanted to redraft for the Vikings. I believe that the hype of you trading up to get a quarterback, you really shouldn't do that. That's just me, and I'll explain why. I don't think that the quarterback that you're looking for is going to be there. So why would you give up so much when you have the capital to do more with? And I believe that you should make a phone call to Arizona and make a couple of trades as well. That being said, hey, I'm all for all the comments. Definitely down there. If you're going to see me, it's going to say ready for war. So you guys comment and I'm ready to go right back at you with it. With that being said, guys, let's dive in. Let's go ahead and get what you call for. Oh, and by the way, like, comment, of course, and subscribe. Peace. So first of all, let's go ahead and make sure we talk to Arizona and let's say, hey, look, Arizona, you want to move up 4 spots from 27, which is probably going to work out for them if they do this. We'll just go ahead and we'll swap back 27, get a second rounder and a fourth rounder. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, that's unrealistic, but in Arizona's situation, they actually have about 11 picks. Them and the Bills have a lot of picks. So they have the right to kind of give up capital to get what they want. And Arizona really needs another receiver. They need a better offensive line. You could even question the quarterback. And I know that Minnesota's talking about trading Kyler Murray. Talking about getting Kyler Murray in this trade. Let's be realistic. I like Kyler Murray, but I'd rather get somebody that's been 100% healthy and has a fresh NFL start. That's just me, and you're going to laugh too when I talk about my picks about the health situation, which is fine. But I just know that you're not getting 100% Kyler Murray, and we've seen that with Arizona. So that's that. Trade back 4 spots to get 3 picks, and you're still picking in the top 150. So I don't think that's a bad deal. And you still keep your number 11 pick. Here's what we do. Let's get busy. All right. First things first. At pick 11, you go ahead and you get your edge rusher. Replace Mr. Hunter with Dallas Turner. I know that sounds sketchy. I believe that if he's off the board, I wouldn't mind taking Jared Verse or Latu at 11. Either or how you want to do it. And that's fine. Because the big picture is the realistic picture that I love is the fact that you really need somebody on the other side of Jonathan Gennard to get that good pass rush, especially in the division where you're going to be at. Lions, they've got Jared Goff. Then on top of that, Packers got Jordan Love. The Bears are probably going to go draft Caleb Williams. So therefore, you need to get after these quarterbacks nonstop in this division. Why not? It's simple as that. The whole entire division has an offense. They can all play. I just think it's going to come down to the other side of the ball with the defense. So why not go ahead and start building that defensive line up? And on top of that, you'll probably go secondary, so on and so forth, like I have in this draft. Now, at pick 27, you go ahead and you get your guy, your designated hitter, of course, Bo Nix. Now, I know a lot of people are not big fans and not sold on Bo Nix. I definitely disagree with a lot of that. I think that Bo Nix probably is maybe the third best quarterback in this draft. And I would say Michael Penix would be number 3 because of the injuries. I have to push Penix back. But I like Bo Nix for the simple fact of the matter is that I've seen him play with talent and I've seen him play with no talent. And what I mean by that is not like Caleb Williams where you have Jerry Rice's son, Tajay Washington, stuff like that. I'm talking about like your best receiver is 5'9" at Auburn. Just terrible football players around him at Auburn. And then he makes the switch to go to Oregon where he gets a Bryant, he gets a Bucky Irving, he gets a Troy Franklin, these type of players around him, and he excels. You know what I mean? So I can understand, and I can only imagine him with the Jordan Addison, a Justin Jefferson, and then turn around. If you guys really want to go ahead and replace your receiver, which I have you guys doing that in this draft, replacing another receiver like KJ Osborne, why not? Because Bo Nix can handle that. And I've seen him play with a lot of talent around him. So I really like that as well. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, well, what about JJ McCarthy? I don't even want to get into that whole debate. The same guy that struggled against Maryland. The same guy that didn't even throw the ball in the second half against the Penn State game. The same guy that only threw 167 yards against a Washington defense, which was not stout, which was not amazing or anything like that. They struggled against Alabama. The run game is what saved them. I don't want to dive into the J.J. McCarthy conversation. I just think that's a whole bunch of ESPN hype. That's just me on that note. With that being said, that's what I'm saying at pick 27. Go ahead and grab Bo Nix. Now, of course, you protect your asset already immediately at pick 35. Grab your center, Jackson Powers Johnson, who might not be there at 35. So I'm cool with you guys getting Zach Frazier too out of West Virginia. Either or, that's fine. I saw Jackson there. I said, I'll take it. I don't think he's going to be gone, but why not? Go and snag him. Then at pick 134, you go grab your guy, Cam Hart, who is the cornerback of Notre Dame, who's my sleeper guy in my top 25 sleepers. Definitely a great pickup. Could sell, could cover, man, zone. Anything you ask him to do, he can do. If you want to get a really good look at him, Senior Bowl tape against Tez Walker, that's also on my channel too. I sound like those other YouTubers, don't I? Anyways, but I'm just being realistic with you. This dude is a sleeper, but a bright star on your defense if you grab him, and you can just mold him right. With that being said, why not continue to spruce up your secondary with Cole Bishop at safety, who is very highly underrated. I had scouted him early part, and you guys can see this too on my channel earlier in his I guess before the pre-draft process and all the diagnostics, whatever they want to call it, kind of looked at him, and I didn't really have him going that high. I had him actually as more of a 5th, 6th, or undrafted, but he's really climbed up the charts a lot. And the only reason why I say that is because I watched him in the Florida game before I started dissecting the personnel, and he really was a great corner. But his breakout game was against USC. Obviously, the BYU game. But I really don't consider that really much of a competition. That really wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't what I thought it would be. But Oregon game, he did well as well. So stuff like that, I liked him. Now, Zach Zinter out of Michigan. Great interior guard. All right, thumbs up, guys. This guy can clear a path, make way. Why not? Control the run game. Obviously, you got Aaron Jones back there. So this is going to be fun for, of course, Bo Nix when he gets inside the 20. Why not run the ball, the red zone? Do what you got to do. I like this pick there. Now, back to the defensive line. McKinley Johnson. He's more of a rotation guy. I'm not going to lie. Rotation dude. But I will respectfully say this about him. If you need him to go all game long, that's what he can do. He did it at A&M. I have no problem with him doing that. That's just me. Now, this is where we start to have a little bit more fun. These next 3 picks. I love Jamari Thrash out of the University of Louisville, a Georgia State transfer. And realistically speaking, he actually wasn't that bad. He really wasn't bad when it came to being the number 1 receiver at Louisville, obviously. Just a little bit of poor quarterback play towards the end of the season. But I understand. I get it. When you're the only guy on the roster that has to be the number 1 receiver, sometimes it's easy to stop you when you can send 3 people to cover you, right? And yes, I did say 3 because you can watch it in the Wake Forest game. You can watch it in the NC State game. You can watch that in the game where he played against Florida State. It shows 3 guys covering 1 person. Now, this is where you have fun with the X's and O's. Obviously, Jamari Thrash could be a number 1 outside or inside. Doesn't matter how you want to put it. But I love Jordan Addison. He's the explosion player. I love Justin Jefferson. He just gets the job done. Jamari Thrash is the guy where he's actually in the middle. He can be that explosive player, and he can also be the X's. He can also be the precision. What is it? I can't even think of it. He can also be the check down guy. He could also be the slot. He could also be the outside, the X. He can do it all, and that's what I love about Jamari Thrash. Standing listed at 6'1", not that big of a receiver. He's like 185. He's kind of smaller, but I'm pretty sure NFL weight will hit him. And that's kind of how I see him right then and there. Now, back to the defensive side of the ball. Another exciting pick for me, Jalen Ford. Sideline to sideline, physical linebacker, in your face. I don't think that he's listed as a top 5 linebacker or top 10, but I think he's more sleeper. He can come off the edge if need be. Covers the flats very well, stops the run. I like him. I like him for the system that they have in Minnesota when it comes to defense. Now, Landy Robinson out of Texas A&M, which is a very, very, very fun pick here. And the reason why I say that is because obviously it says he's playing guard, which he's a very good guard on the left side. He can play guard on the right side. Now, if you haven't noticed, I've actually reconstructed. I've gotten 2 offensive linemen here for Bo Nix, 3 offensive linemen for Bo Nix. They all are interior. And the reason why I say that is I like the triangle. I like the protection of the quarterback. I believe that you build your offensive line inside before you go outside. And if you're inside is great. Your tackle game, your quarterback is kind of stay in the pocket and kind of step up and throw really well. And on top of that, you can also control the run as well. He's great at pulling. Actually, quite faster than usual when it comes to pulling as a guard. Robinson as well. Also great with one-on-ones. You want to watch a game where Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell both get a hand on him. He holds his own. Kind of reminds me of the guy out of the University of Texas, the other side of the state. If you haven't noticed, I'm an A&M fan. And on top of that, too, I love my Texans. But that's nor here nor there. Larry Robinson and Chris Jones out of the University of Texas is great offensive linemen in this area where I do believe they will fall into that fifth, sixth, and seventh round type players that might be gems for you guys. Now, last but not least, obviously, I mentioned him earlier. Taj Washington, who's an explosive player, return specialist. Just freakish speed, man. Freakish speed for the Vikings is what you really would like out of him. Jet sweeps, stuff like that. Cam Akers type player. About the same size, too, as well. Could be in the backfield. Could run. He's just an all-around just football player, and I like him. I could see the head coach for the Vikings utilizing him as a weapon, a Swiss Army knife type kind of guy, which is really cool. And this is the direction that I have for the Vikings. That's just me on this. I definitely don't mind, but I'm always ready for war in the comments, so you can definitely bring in what you got. I'm ready to go back and forth with you. But, with that being said, you guys let me know what you think. Definitely comment, like, and subscribe. We'll be back with more. And, of course, peace.